Thank you, Joe.
So David Town did that rendition that he does. As I was driving back from Patagonia with my wife, the dog was in the back, and he was doing it the whole David Town. The dog didn't like any part of it. It was squealing the whole time. So when David asked me to do the close, that's always such a cool thing to let you leave this next semester back to the classrooms and kind of do the teaching and the life with these kids. You've heard Dr. LEMAN's philosophies and ideas and kind of the role of the teacher and whatnot. I didn't know where I wanted to go. We have 125 new teachers that have joined us this year. And I thought, well, let's talk about you're at the midway mark. You're 5 months, 6 months in, and I happen to have been able to see what this looks like in your second year and third year and on, and it gets better and better because you understand our philosophy, you understand our curriculum, you've read the novels, you know where you're going. So it does get better and better. But really what struck me when I decided what I'm going to talk to you guys today about was I spent a week in Denver, and what a neat experience with Jason, and we miss him dearly, and it's so good to see him. Brand new campus, 5 months old, big building just like Nate's. Very different feel. Lots of young teachers that are super passionate about learning classical and doing it our way and kind of learning. I had a chance to get to know a lot of the moms and the families as we were marketing that place. So we'd go to these open houses, and I would kind of work the crowd and see if I could find the ones that had questions and help sell them on what we're doing with LEMAN. And throughout this last 5 months, Jason has been lamenting with me about some of the struggles he's having with these various parents. So I said, well, set me up a day, and I'll spend the day talking one-on-one because I've gotten to know them personally and want to hear the feedback. So one after the other, it was a lot of great feedback, a lot of great stuff. How we're teaching history, some things we can do with our curriculum, scheduling. Always kind of on the negative side, so I tried to leave each one with a positive. Like, hey, why did you pick us? And what are we doing well? And what do we like? And what do you like about us? And how are we changing your family's life? So we always left them on a positive. One in particular, special ed, very complicated family. Jason and I talk every month about this family, and I always check in on how's it going. Teacher knew that was going to be a tough one, and observed the teacher before the meeting, talked with the ESS team about it, looked at the data on the little girl that was in it. Really knew going in that we were doing a great job. One point in the meeting, she said, I don't think my teacher cares about my child or anyone else here. And that's when I kind of got my Irish up a little bit and said, that's the furthest from the truth. The fact that I'm sitting here with you and I know every step of your child and what's going on is not fair. So that reminded me of the speech, The Man in the Arena. And we're teaching it somewhere in this place. I'm not sure what grade. Does anybody know what grade that pops up as a recitation? 8th grade? All right. So it was done by Teddy Roosevelt in the Sorbonne in 1910. It was a 35-page speech, which I'm going to read to you page by page. Just kidding. So we're going to run the clip. You're going to watch it, listen to it. Then I'm going to commentate a little bit about it and see if it relates to that family situation and standing up to that parent about what we do here and the why of what we do. So Austin, hit it.
It is not the critic who counts. Not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles. Or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, and who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement. And who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. So that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat.
So here's who I'm in the arena with. And I'm going to start with my ESS team. Where are they at? Loud claps. Let's go. I want to hear everybody that's in the ESS. Every campus that I visit, that's one of the first places I go. Because if you haven't lived a day in that world, you have no idea what you hand these kids off many times to go off and get instruction. The work they do is phenomenal. Intervention. Cindy, let's hear from Intervention. Are you out there? So they have come so far in these 4 years of where we're taking our intervention program to remediate these kids and get them into an advanced program, which is what we do here. And the work that Cindy's brought to the table and that entire team, I couldn't be more happy to be in the arena with them. Where's Tracy in the front desk team? Tracy McCracken. All right, if you've ever worked retail, which I have worked retail, it's not fun all the time. And you feel like everybody's mad at you. Well, that front desk, if you watch what they go through in a day, it's a barrage of I forgot my lunch and I've got to take my kids out and I'm mad. And the work that they do with a smile on their face is set the tone by Tracy and the entire front desk team. So thank you. After Bell and Pre-K, after Bell had to leave, I think, but Pre-K is still here, right? Let's hear it for Pre-K. They're in the back corner. Do you notice a difference in those kids that have come through our Pre-K program into our kindergarten? That's because of the work that they do. They're driving the curriculum. They're working on those values and virtues and really teaching these kids to be prepared for the life of LEMAN beyond. Our custodians aren't here, but like Bethany said, I had a chance to pick up a broom and walk around and clean bathrooms. And it gave me a real perspective of the work they do and the little details that when you walk into your classroom, they should be done and clean. So we are on it on a big level because it's those small little broken window theory, if you've read that book, that we work on. Kinder, first, second, third. Let's hear it for them. Are they in the room? I heard a really good NPR study and podcast about the role of a strong kindergarten, first, and second grade teacher. It can change your life up to $250,000 in earning power over your lifetime because that is when you're setting up those foundational elements of learning and curiosity and a hunger to be a good student. So couldn't be happier to have them in my arena with all of us. Where's our specials? Let's hear it for the specials. If you watch these people with 30 minutes, many times 35 minutes, get the kids in, get them opening an art project, cleaning up at the end of it, and trying to impart upon them the skills to learn of that particular special, it's phenomenal that it happens. Gives you all a break as teachers, which is awesome, so you have some planning time and get there. But it's part of our team. They're lining up with what you're doing in the classroom. Couldn't be more proud to be in the arena with all our specials. The district office, Miss Katie and Nikki and the team. You have no idea how many hats we're all wearing to get this to happen. The more lean we can make the back end, the more we can put into the front end, and that's our goal. If you look at some of the big school districts around the country, around this city, they're pretty top heavy. We try not to do that, so we can put more back in. Where's virtual? You should hear a couple claps. Eric and Brent back there. These guys are day in, day out building the Schoology product so that when you open it up, it's ready and delivered right to the moment and the time and the thing that you might need. So thanks to having them folks in our arena. Our PD team, David had to leave, but you can see the role that Chrissy and Dee and David play to make sure you're prepared. Hopefully, and I've heard many of you say this, you've never had an experience professionally like you have done through us, and that's the goal here. We just did a bond offering, refinanced 2 or 3 of our campuses. Do this big proctology exam on us. Our teacher retention rate is 90%. The industry average is in the 70s, 60s, 70s. That's phenomenal. And that's because we do a good job hiring hopefully we support you guys so that you're in the arena and protected and know that you're super important to what we do here. And then finally, our teachers. There's so many of you, and I've gotten the beautiful joy to meet you and watch you work, and I can't tell you how proud I am to be part of it. So thanks for being in the arena. One more.
So I put it in, and Theodore Roosevelt comes up, and a quote comes up. And I read it, and this is what it says. It's a quote from a speech that he gave in the early 1900s at the Sorbonne, and a lot of people call it the Man in the Arena speech. And this is the passage that changes my life. It's not the critic who counts. It's not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done it better. The credit belongs to the person who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred with blood and sweat and dust, who, at the best, in the end, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who, at worst, if he fails daring greatly. So the moment that I read that, I closed my laptop, and this is what shifted in me. 3 huge things. First, I spent the last 12 years studying vulnerability, and that quote was everything I know about vulnerability. It is not about winning, it's not about losing, it's about showing up and being seen. The second thing, this is who I want to be. I want to create. I want to make things that didn't exist before I touched them. I want to show up and be seen in my work and in my life. And if you're going to show up and be seen, there is only one guarantee, and that is you will get your ass kicked. That is the guarantee. That's the only certainty you have. If you're going to go in the arena and spend any time in there whatsoever, especially if you've committed to creating in your life, you will get your ass kicked. So you have to decide at that moment, I think for all of us, if courage is a value that we hold, this is a consequence. You can't avoid it. The third thing, which really set me free, and I think Steve, my husband, would argue has made me somewhat dangerous, is kind of a new philosophy about criticism, which is this. If you're not in the arena also getting your ass kicked, I'm not interested in your feedback. Period. That's it. If you have constructive information, feedback to give me, I want it. And I'm an academic. I'm hardwired for wrestling around with stuff like that. If you say, hey, you forgot all this literature, or hey, you should have done this, or terrible sentence construction over here, like, let's do it. I love that. But if you're in the cheap seats, not putting yourself on the line, and just talking about how I could do it better, I'm in no way interested in your feedback.
That was my message to that mother, who we left on good terms, and we still like each other, but we're in the arena, and I am proud to be in it with you. I am excited about this next semester and beyond. Please make the impact on these kids and these families. What comes in your door, only you know what you deal with every day, and we want to be here to support you. So if you get mad at your administrators or your vice principals or your principals, I forgot to mention you guys are in the arena too, right? Sorry, Nate. If you get mad at them for something that goes wrong, just realize we're all in this arena, and we're all trying to make this happen the best we possibly can with what we've got. So thank you much, and we'll see you around the campuses.